And good morning. We're back here on KFYO Mornings. Dave King, Matt Martin at your service, 7:07 a.m. And as promised, we have Jeff Griffith, who is a Lubbock City Councilman. Good morning, Jeffrey.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
The Jeffster. But we understand now that you have been elected Mayor Pro Tem.
I have been. That happened last night. I don't know what they were thinking, but
Jeez.
Yeah.
And so the mayor's out of town, and so what, you're going to go sit in his office today and like prop your feet up on his desk and smoke his cigars or what?
Drink his whiskey.
Drink his whiskey and give orders?
Wait. Does he have any good whiskey in his office? Do you have a key? I mean, seriously.
How about,
I know about this?
I don't think we have that at City Hall. I don't think we have any whiskey at City Hall.
Well, there could be.
There's been times when I wish there was. How about that?
Yeah, right.
Well,
I
guess.
You know how much more fun City Hall meetings would be if y'all all had a glass of whiskey or two sitting there.
Yeah.
Are you saying, hey, you know what? If that may give us an idea for a new revenue stream.
The city charter needs to be changed.
You come in and sit down and wouldn't that be cool? You'd sit down and order a cocktail?
That'd be a motivational factor, that's for sure. Well, we're here to talk seriously this morning, but I guess congratulations are in order.
Oh, thank you, Dave.
That you are been elected Mayor Pro Tem. Got a frog in my throat this morning, but what we want to talk about, of course, is what is transpiring with our city government. And, of course, last night the city council met.
We had a pretty short agenda. We're good at taking short agendas and making them long sometimes, but we had debate on some zoning cases. We also one thing I would like to point out was pretty neat is we honored the first graduating class of Lubbock 101, which is a citizen. This was the inaugural year for it. But it's basically a citizen class that people that want to learn about what goes on, not just in city government, but they spend days literally going through water treatment, fire and rescue, understanding many aspects of what is actually involved in making a city work. And so I applaud we honored these citizens, but great group of people, and I think that they all realized there's a whole lot more to it than people realize.
Well, I'll bet that's the truth.
Yeah, all of it has to come together too. It's interesting. I mean, if you think about it, you think about even fire rescue, then you add the fire hydrants, you add the water, you add all of this stuff that all has to be in the right place at the right time, and just the ambulance services, the everything else. It's just honestly, it's a mess that has to come together. So
that's actually a good way of putting it. And so that was, we had of course staff involvement at fire, police, water, engineering, but emergency operations center, to your point, they went through that.
Well, now, is this going to be an ongoing thing?
I think it will be. Our city manager, Jared Atkinson, organized this, and a lot of other cities do that.
What is the purpose of it?
It's to make citizens aware of what's involved in city.
So you just have some positive ambassadors for the city. Then.
Absolutely. And these are folks that also, a lot of them have expressed interest in serving on city boards and commissions.
Right.
We have, I believe there's now 47 different boards and commissions that people act on, as Mr. King, you have.
I'm on the library board.
Yes, and thank you for your service. And you don't get a big paycheck, do you, for doing that?
I get a Chick-fil-A every Monday, one Monday a month.
1 month, yeah. That's and so it's
and
not
a glass of tea,
and it's not big pay.
No.
But thank you for your service. But you're a perfect example, Dave, of somebody that cares about our city, and your involvement is needed. We need citizen involvement to direct us.
Yeah, I can go to the library and I can check out any book there. That's just one of the perks of.
He's got a lifetime extension on his library card.
Yeah. So can we vet these guys and make sure that all of them are conservative before they go into this program? If they're going to be running on committees, I'm just kidding.
But some, library's very important. Airport, planning and zoning, keep Lubbock beautiful, water board. I mean, there's a whole lot I'm not even mentioning that, but it does take a lot, and it's important that citizen involvement lead the direction of our city.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll tell you what, I've been getting Lubbock Alert and the alerts, and one of the things that I've noticed is there's a lot of stuff for the libraries. The libraries some people, they say that everything's going digital. Libraries are kind of becoming obsolete, but libraries, you can actually check stuff out digitally. But they've just got a lot of activities. I think there's like a petting zoo coming up on next Tuesday or something, and they've got, there's just so many activities that they have going on, mostly for kids. But
it's the summer activities is when they really, when our libraries really get in gear, because the kids are out of school, and the whole idea is let's not make them, but let's encourage those kids to read with their summertime.
So anyway,
while they're doing nothing.
I just because y'all were bringing up the library, I'm saying if y'all have kids, check the library schedule, see what's going on. There's activities out there.
And it said Lubbock Library. Google it. Lubbock. I'll probably give you the wrong.
But anyway, also,
but you can go to the city website that also will list summer activities. There is a whole host of them. Library, an important one. Parks and Recreation. Also, there is a lot of activities that our Parks and Rec department has got out there for kids especially.
What kind of feedback have y'all gotten from the Lubbock Alert?
It improved recently. The numbers, I was not as happy with the numbers as far as folks that had signed up, Matt, to be quite frank. I think it's a fantastic system, as obviously you are talking about, and I've got the card in front of us for the listeners. There is 3 different classes of notification. Red is emergency, kind of orange is advisory, and then event notification, like you're talking about, is green. And so you can select what level you want. Yeah. So if people just want it for severe weather alerts or major incident alert, like traffic, major issues with fire or accident areas, then you can select your level of notification.
These alerts come via text message.
Well, not
Correct?
Really text. They're alerts.
They're alerts. It's app based.
I guess they do come text message, but
yes, it is on your cell phone. But a big thing is that the reverse 911 system is already involved in this. So actually, there's about 50,000 folks that would be alerted through Lubbock Alert via reverse 911, if that makes sense, of their main either landline or cell phone. But
and once
we want
go,
people to sign up. This is very important, especially severe weather season.
This is
exactly
the way
right.
you find out about tornadoes. We don't have tornado alarms, and even if we had them, you wouldn't hear it anyway. Let's be honest.
Okay.
But this is how you could get that alert.
Okay.
It's lbkalert.com. Sign up.
Quick question. Once you sign up for it and you set your levels, all the things that you want, can you go back and change it?
Yes.
Okay. I thought so.
Great question. Yes.
Okay. Quick break, and we'll be right back with more from Councilman Jeff Griffith. And we are back. KFYO Mornings, Dave King and Matt Martin here at your service, talking with City Councilman Jeff Griffith. And I am trying to sign up for the Lubbock Alert. So far, it looks like it's funny how you have to follow those directions.
What a concept, right? What a concept. And
it didn't like my username.
Oh, I'm not going to ask what you're putting in there.
Please don't.
But we do hope that folks will sign up because not just because it's severe weather season, but it's really a good tool if you're driving around the city and we have a major mishap, and from a traffic standpoint, it'll alert you that, hey, stay away from that intersection.
Hey, Slayton Highway was closed the other day, and I got alert on that one. They had a tractor trailer that had I don't know exactly what happened, but anyway, I think they were detouring people through Woodrow Road, so if it to 1585, something like that.
Wow.
And so anyway, just got an alert on that, and so you can find better ways around than having to deal with following all the traffic around. Anyway, it's just something that I like about it as well.
Well,
okay. So let's see what else we got to cover this morning.
What happened last night?
Yeah,
we because we had the mayor and Mayor Pope and Councilwoman Sheila Patterson Harris were both out of town. It made it a harder vote than usual because people have to understand, when you have a lot of items, you can win 4-3. You can be divided, but some of the votes last night were 3-2 or 2-3, however you want to call it. So we had some zoning cases that failed that were thought-provoking. Our council takes these very seriously. What our Planning and Zoning Commission recommends, what staff recommends, but there were some cases that made it more difficult to navigate through.
Can they bring those back up with a full council if it failed in a?
Not. There's a time. I believe there's a time element they have to wait. And I apologize, I don't remember the exact on P&Z cases, but that it may be a whole year. The main thing is that with our change, we've got, of course, the ongoing committee work called the CPAC committee, which determines the future land use and affects planning and zoning heavily. And so we're in the change. We're working on changes there. And so as the city grows, we want to make sure that thoroughfares are correct and zoning's correct on different business uses and residential usage. And this, so we're in the thrust of that, and people bringing cases to us. And so it takes some time to work through these.
Mm. Well, so what is the future looking like? What is up next on the agenda?
It's that time of year. It's budget time. And so city staff administration is already working, every department is working on future budget. So we'll get into that throughout the summer. But there's already been a lot of budget meetings, and each department has to analyze it, and then they bring it before city administration.
Yep.
So city management, and they will schedule with us budget meetings, and then we'll have budget hearings and workshops. Actually, July, August timeframe. That will lead up till we've got to approve a budget by September.
Mm-hmm.
So when are we going to see some a start on the work for substations?
I think
police substations.
I think we're in design now. I think the first one, and I appreciate you bringing that up. I think the first one that will probably get done is in the east side of Lubbock, MLK and 19th. I think that'll be the first one. But we've already approved about, I think, $10 million to start the substation plan. The other two locations have not been identified.
Okay. We'll be back and talk more. This is KFYO Mornings. Talk more with Jeff Griffith, Councilman Jeff Griffith. after this. News Talk 95.1 FM, 790 AM. We are KFYO Mornings. Dave King, Matt Martin here right on your radio for a Friday. Jeff Griffith is also in our studio this morning. You got Councilman Jeff Griffith imparting some good information. We were talking about the police substations. Were we not?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And did you finish your? We had to break away for a break. So
thank you, Dave. I'll continue. The first one that's in our plan will be East Lubbock. Very needed substation there with our analysis. The two other locations, one in the southwest part of the city, and one in the probably the northwest part of the city, we don't have exact locations yet. So we still have a lot of work to finish the plan, and but we are. That is the direction.
Do we know when we'll start? Some ballpark figure.
We may put them out. I'm ballparking. You're right. I'm ballparking you, but probably this fall.
Oh, that's good.
I think we'll start this fall.
Yeah,
I really do. The city continues to grow. We need to be brutally honest about this. Crime does too.
Yes, it is.
So public safety is our job, and we've got a great police department, great police administration. We have our challenges. There's no doubt that, and you see it all the time. Drug culture is horrific. Probably, 80% of burglaries, break-ins are meth related.
Yeah,
we've got to be honest. What's causing this problem?
We've had Chief Stevens and Sheriff Rowe on both talking about this on our show, and it's a serious problem, and it's one that I have a very high priority for. I want to see the city, and I wanted to see the county judge say that he was in favor of supporting more funding to the sheriff. I'd like to see more funding to our LPD because I believe this is a very serious situation, and the numbers that I've seen are staggering, really. Now, which brings up another point. We have it's been stated that over the past year, the Lubbock housing has grown by 7.5% on average. It's going to be a windfall for the city and the county money-wise, is it not?
Well,
and have you talked about it? Or are you aware of it?
Not, we'll part of this budget. It's funny, really good. It's not funny you bring it up. It's very important you bring it up because during the budget process, we obviously look at sales tax revenue and property tax revenue. And a lot of folks are upset that their property taxes have gone up, and I've heard from several. And we're not in control of the appraisal.
True.
But the city needs.
But you are going to reap the benefits of this increased value.
Yes, absolutely.
7.5% is a huge jump. And property usually goes up on average, about 1% a year, maybe?
2 to 3, maybe. And it's random sometimes. I know that the appraisal district, they do a great job overall, but it's interesting how some neighborhoods go up, and then my personal residence didn't go up this year, but had the past 3 years. So it's funny how it's neighborhood based sometimes, just because of some neighborhoods are hot and others are not. But we have definitely our police department. Our budget is $70 million plus. To the point, Dave, that you make, there's always needs. Something that
I want them to
very
have
important
the absolute
technology. Technology is very important to law enforcement.
Yes, it is.
New technology helps law enforcement. I was talking with Chief Stevens the other day about the use of drones, where you've got a burglar jumping fences from an alley to backyard, and you have officers going around the block trying to locate this individual or individuals, and a lot of times the use of drones you could find them pretty quick.
It'd be a lot less expensive than a helicopter as well.
Oh,
Good point. And we do use DPS helicopter.
But a drone, you could deploy in just minutes. A helicopter is going to take a while to get there.
So
it's extremely expensive.
Yeah,
to fly.
And the
That's
technology.
a good idea.
Yeah. So I applaud Chief Stevens for his that we've got to keep our police officers safe. There's no doubt,
and we need more of them, Jeff.
Yes, and part of his plan is to increase. Don't have the exact, but in his budget, he's already told me that he plans for an increase, asking for an increase in officers. So I'm glad you said this.
Take a break? Okay, let's take a break, and then we'll come back and take the call. Okay, we're back at 7:46 a.m. here on KFYO Mornings. Dave King and Matt Martin. We want to jump over here on line one with Chris. Good morning, Chris.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Hey, a quick comment on the taxes. I understand the appraisals went up, and the appraisal district controls our values. And if I put my house on the market, I want to sell it for the highest dollar possible. But the city of Lubbock, Mr. Griffith and the other council members, they're 100% responsible and will set that tax rate. If they leave it the same, knowing that appraisals are going up 7%, that is the same as passing a 7% tax increase. And I would really like to hear that they would look and take the same money, go ahead and get another 1 or 2.5% to give some of our firefighters, police officers, city workers some raises, but just saying, appraisal districts go up, so we're going to take that extra money, really concerns me as a citizen.
Well, and Chris, you have just asked the questions. You took the words right out of my mouth. That's where I was going to Councilman Griffith with. So why don't we, since you've got this windfall of money, why don't you back off a little bit on the tax rate? And
Chris, I would.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Chris, thanks a lot. We appreciate.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you for listening, and thanks for calling. Okay.
Now, would y'all look into that? Would y'all look into lowering the tax rates if y'all kept the full 7.5%? Because I know that they're going through protests and all that right now, and you don't know what you're going to get until afterwards. But once all that goes through, is that something y'all would look at?
Right, and that's something that we'll do. He brings up a very good point, and that is the charge of your city council. Is once we get the confirmed dollars, the actual confirmed property tax dollars, then we know what we've got to work with. And then you can go up, stay the same, go down. You darn sure, my thought is that we have to study that before we make a decision. And I'm not trying to avoid Chris's comment. I'm just telling you that it is our charge to make sure public safety's right. That's number one, and the water's right. But we've got to study that. And if it does go up 7%, that is a lot.
That is a lot, and
a whole lot.
And I'll tell you what, we're going to be watching that pretty close, and we're going to be reminding the citizens of it.
Thank you.
But, yeah, you're welcome.
The state of Texas,
let's jump on the phones.
Well, I was going to say the state of Texas has a rainy day fund, a savings account, where in the good years they're able to put money away so that in the bad years they can have some money to spend wherever. Does Lubbock have anything like that? Is that something that y'all could start with your windfall?
We don't really have rainy day fund to speak of.
You got plenty of debt, that's for sure.
We have debt. Our debt actually went down last year.
Well, let's hope so.
And it's high. There's no doubt because of our water projects. Our debt is high. But the bottom line is that it's a process in which we have to look at each department and really scrub a budget to determine each need, what's appropriate. There may be areas we can cut, to Chris's point.
Let's jump on line 2 here. Michael Ward. Good morning, Michael. I hadn't heard from you in a while. Where have you been?
Well, I've been immersed in campaigns the last 4 months, I guess, or 5.
What's up this morning?
Well, I just wanted to talk a little bit about this growth. You and I have talked about it for quite some time, Jeff, but the fact that the CPAC committee, led at least on this subcommittee part by Dan Wilson, have adopted and plan to put through to the city the idea of the impact fees for some of the new infrastructure, and it's state guidelines and whatever on it, but I think that will be a help as well. But obviously, a lot of us think we don't need to take advantage of the appraisal creep every year. It's becoming a real big deal. And but I think what drove Dan to decide that, he looked at the debt service schedule, and a lot of these things that we say we're paying them down, but we haven't even borrowed the money yet for the police substations, and also, I know it's in phases, but it's going to be another big hit. And the amount of debt service that we have every year is why we don't have enough money then to run the other things. So we got to be prioritizing a whole lot more to be sure that we're doing the right thing. But I think that could be a help on infrastructure as well as something else you and I visited about. So call me when you have time.
Hey, Michael, I got to run, but thanks for listening.
Thank you very much,
thanks
Michael. I will.
Okay.
Yeah, she brings up a good point in the phasing of the PD project. We're in at $10 million, but there could be another 30 to 40 million.
Quickly, we've got a texter this morning that says, does Councilman Griffith support the proposed legislation to allow an automatic rollback vote by citizens on tax rate?
I really want our state legislators to discuss this. I believe that's their job at the state. And I don't have an opinion as such that I can't speak because that's a state. Every municipality is different. Every school district's different. So that's their job, and I know they'll do the right things. Okay. So let them do it.
Okay, very quickly. We'll take a quick break and be right back. And we're back this morning at KFYO Mornings. Dave King, Matt Martin here on your radio. What do we have here, Connor? A couple of minutes, maybe? A couple of minutes is all we have. And we have Councilman Jeff Griffith in our studio this morning. We do have a ton of text messages this morning. One of them says, if someone is interested in serving on Lubbock 101 or another committee, how would they go about doing that, Jeff?
Dave, I'd love for them to contact me personally at my city email if they've got a pen or pencil handy. My city email is jgriffith@mylubbock.us. And if they'll just contact me, I'll be more than happy to visit with them and put them in touch with the folks. Anybody that's entertaining being on a board or commission or a future 101 class, I'd love to hear from them. So please do contact me.
Okay. That's very good. Get involved with the city.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is your city. It is your city.
It'd be interesting to know how many citizens are involved and how many different boards you have.
Well,
but it's a bunch.
47 or 48 boards. Yes, commissions. So there's hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds of citizens.
Literally hundreds of citizens, yes.
Very true. Well, gosh, we've just about covered everything we have time for this morning. And I guess we can remind our listeners that we have every other Friday, just about, we have, after the Thursday council meeting, we'll have a councilman on to talk about what was discussed and keep us informed and up to date.
Well, I appreciate you gentlemen having me on. It's been fun and always thought-provoking. Appreciate your listeners. Okay.
And we thank you for coming out and being so open with us, Jeff. Councilman Jeff Griffith. 7:59 a.m. here on KFYO Morning.
And Mayor Pro Tem Jeff Griffith.
Yes, as a matter of fact. Hey, I might come down today and help you smoke cigars and sit in the mayor's office. Does he have any TVs in there? Can we watch TV?
We can put one in there.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. We'll be back after this.